When you look at this challenge right here, people tend to get very unmotivated, but I believe I found a really solid method to help you unlock this 10,000 kill Scorestreak challenge in zombies for Black Ops 7 a lot faster. I've been testing a lot of methods, and this is probably the fastest method to do it solo in Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So let's go ahead and get into setting up this strategy. First thing you want to do is go to select match. You want to go to survival, click on solo, and click on Vandor Farm. Now, of course, if you're playing with friends or randoms, you can go to squads, but I prefer solos because you can control things a lot better. But you can always click on squads to get more zombies. It can be a little inconsistent. You want to make sure you're using Toxic Growth. This is going to help you for a huge portion of the strategy along with decoy grenades. And then these are the augments I want you to use for Toxic Growth. For the major augment, you want to use Yurticants. For the minor augments, you want to use Green Thumb and Extra Charge. For Quick Revive, you want to go ahead and use Equivalent Exchange for the major. For the minors, you want to use Swift Recovery and Emergency Medical Kit. For Juggernaut, you want to go ahead and use Turtle Shell for the major, and for the minors, Retaliation and Hardened Plates. For Speed Cola, you want to go ahead and use Classic Formula for the major, and for the minors, you want to use Quick Swap and Fast Pitcher. For Vulture's Aid, you want to go ahead and use Fetid Upper Aid for the major, and for the minor augments, you want to use Condor's Reach and Picky Eater. For Mule Kick, you want to make sure you have Free Throw as your major, and for your minor augments, you need Fully Equipped and Plate Hunter. For Deadshot Daiquiri, you want to make sure for the minor augment you have increased bullet damage to armor pieces for the minor. So that is going to be it for the augment setup. Now let's go and get into the gameplay setup. Alright, you want to go ahead and load it on Vandor Farm, and you want to immediately start doing the generator step. You want to do this as fast as possible, of course, especially with the weapon that can do some fairly decent damage. Make sure you're using a SMG or some weapon that's going to make it happen. Then after you do the generator step, you want to get 2,000 essence. You can do this by getting headshots on a lot of the zombies laying around the map and hanging outside of the map as well. After you've acquired your 2,000 essence, you want to go ahead and go to the barn and buy the door. After you buy the door, you want to head upstairs and turn on the power. After power is turned on, you want to go ahead and grab the spray can. You want to start doing the spore steps around the map. You're going to be doing this the entire time all the way up to about round 20-25. That's when you're going to start flipping these rounds and farming your kill streak kills for this challenge. After you complete the spores, any weapons you get, go over to Chompy and feed them to him. You're going to be farming as much salvage as possible. Every single time you acquire one of your Toxic Growth field upgrades, I want you to go ahead and throw it immediately on the center of one of these spores, just like this. After you do so, I want you to spray it and then head over to the next spore. 2 spores will spawn every single round. You're going to be defending these spores to where you can get your salvage and mystery weapons, pack-a-punch crystals, and also mystery equipment. Also, with every single TED task you see on the map, please activate it. This is going to help you get perks, salvage, essence, everything you'll need for setup later on in this gameplay. Also, I forgot to mention, please use point turrets. They are actually very clutch, especially for securing the safety of your spores while farming them for your salvage and mystery weapons. Run zombies around the map, train them up until your spores are complete, and then you're going to pick up the weapons and feed them to Chompy as you've been doing. Now, once you have acquired close to about 26,000 salvage, you're then going to head to the barn and buy yourself a Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper is probably one of the most underrated streaks in this entire game, especially for how crowd control spawns work in this zombie map. In the barn, the spawns spawn extremely fast, and using TED tasks, especially popping the Rampage Inducer and the TED task on these rounds, are going to get you some insane zombie spawns you can manipulate. So you're going to stand on top of this hay bale, and you're going to shoot a round periodically every few seconds. You want these zombies to get as close as possible, especially if you're staring at the minimap right now, to where you can manipulate the crowd spawns as much as possible. if this is done correctly with one Grim Reaper, you can get up to almost a few hundred kills with it, especially if you're in a very timed TED task. Now, as you're farming these eliminations, as soon as you run out of ammo with your Grim Reaper, you're going to toss a decoy away from you, jump down to the supply bench, buy yourself another Grim Reaper, then position yourself back on top of the hay bale. You're going to rinse and repeat this on a lot of rounds, basically until you run out of salvage, or basically until you die. As you can see on screen, I'm on round 33. I have 10,000 salvage remaining. On any TED task you have, bolt right to it. These tasks are going to give you so many zombie eliminations. It is going to be absolutely absurd. Now, unfortunately, we got the Mangler Cannon challenge, and I was not able to actually use my Grim Reaper because it took it away from me. So I ran back into the barn and got me another Grim Reaper. So as you can see, I'm just training the zombies around real quick, just to ensure I got all the normal zombies spawned in, to where when I go to eliminate them, they're going to count alongside with the TED task zombies. So I pop my toxic growth right on top of this, and then I start spamming my Grim Reaper. With this one Grim Reaper right here, I probably got close to almost 100 something kills with it. It was absolutely insane. But as you can see on the mini map, we are getting a crazy amount of spawns. Please do this right now. This is probably the best strategy, especially for using it in TED tasks. Very, very, very versatile, and you can farm so many eliminations. And of course, if you're playing with a lot of people, you can manipulate this with their spawns as well, especially if they're willing to help you. Now, if you're playing with randoms, please use Frenzy Guard for this step instead of the Toxic Growth to force all the zombies to you. Now, I did originally start around 3,700 zombie Scorestreak eliminations, attempting this for a few hours, and I managed to get close to almost 2,000 eliminations doing this strategy right here. This is extremely insane and literally slept on right now. And if you are struggling with this challenge, this is something you can do to get so many zombie eliminations. Hopefully this video did help you, and if it did, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. And let me know down below if there's any challenges that you need any strategy for, and I will make an in-depth guide on how to actually do it within a timely manner, of course. It's been Sweaty. I really hope you guys have a good day today. And with this strategy right here, if you get overran, unfortunately, you may have to restart it, but setup does not really take that long. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes. So with that being said, everybody, I really do appreciate you tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.
SweatyMop. Call of Duty bosses, swing the mop and get sweaty. Mount the rifle on the ledge, hit you with the heady. Got you in a spawn trap, melt you like jelly. 7.62 needles going through your belly. Bucket gang